What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Guys, One Mic. Looking a little different this week. Our schedules couldn't quite line up. So Josh is here with me. Mike's at home. We're going to run through our quick reactions of week 5 already.
Week 5.
Week 5 already.
It's going quick.
It is. Like, I feel like I wait all year for football and then boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into it. We'll go through this list real quick. Some good games, some not so good games. And speaking about not so good games, it started off that way. 12-9 win for Indy over Denver. Just a disappointing game on Thursday. Not much to say there. We'll move on to the London game. Ended up being a better game. First time two winning records face each other in London.
What's interesting?
Yeah, that was pretty funny or weird. Funny, weird.
Jags always
because
right?
we do send London our throwaways, but not this time. I think it was supposed to be because I don't think those schedule makers thought the Giants would be as good as they were, and they ended up pulling it off 27-22 with some questionable acts on the sideline there for the Giants. I don't know if you saw the video Dark Dog sent the group, but it's some questionable Giants things there. I guess that's just how the Giants roll. They're all questionable.
If you didn't see the video, go look up, a video of a Giants player getting, I don't know what, tugged out, but,
I think they were rubbing his thigh, but it did not look that way.
Yeah.
This one kind of surprised me. When I turned the game off because we went to a Oktoberfest, the Packers were up
20-10.
Yeah, and like we were talking earlier, like I think this was Saquon's I'm back game.
Yep.
I think it was. So
it's rough. I mean, Packers offense and defense are extremely inconsistent. It's going to be an uphill battle with our team. We don't have a true number one, and our rookies are just trying to understand the process. So hopefully we can get some help. Maybe OBJ will come by
and get Devontae back.
Devontae, I mean, after a suspension, we might consider, but
there may be some receivers available for trade through the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I mean, you sent us an interesting little thing there. I don't know who Amari Rodgers is, but
he was our third round pick.
Yeah, him coming to Pittsburgh, you can take Claypool. I'm not going to fight it.
His potential could be there, but his attitude.
Yeah.
The reason why I tapped my chest was Carolina has DJ Moore. Maybe he might, want to get out.
I've heard his name bounced around a lot lately, lot, and McCaffrey's been bounced around a little bit too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think a receiver could help them. Now, I mean, on to the next game where one team has no help coming at all, and the other team doesn't need any help. Buffalo 38, Pittsburgh 3. This game put me.
You just mentioned McCaffrey. Bills are one of the teams that could land him.
That's what I've been hearing. That's scary for 3 games, and then McCaffrey's on the sideline.
He's been healthy so far this year.
But yeah, I mean, this game, it was bad. It put me into a little bit of a depression this weekend. I thought it would be closer than it was. We all picked the Bills. I knew the Bills would handle their business, but I expected more than 38-3.
Good thing we didn't go to that game.
Imagine.
I know. I was telling that to the guys at work. I was like, man, I was supposed to go. We were trying to go to that game. I'm glad I didn't because I would have had nowhere to go. Or at least at home I could walk out of the room.
Imagine the Steelers fans that paid $250 to watch that.
You knew you were walking into, though.
Yeah.
You knew you were walking into. No secondary, no line. They're projected maybe possibly the number 1 overall pick, but I'm going to say the way they're playing, they're going to end up the top 5. And we talked maybe trying to package it and move back and get more picks to get more help, or just going for that stud lineman. They need something, but it's rough right now. 52 years it's been since the number 1 overall pick, and that was on Terry Bradshaw. That was their last number 1 pick.
Wow,
it's a long time.
It's been a hell of a run. I can't complain. 18 years without seeing a losing season. 52 years without being a number 1 pick.
It's impressive.
That's It's a sign of a good organization. I'd be interested in when was the Green Bay's last number one pick? It's got to be a long time ago, too.
Yeah.
Cowboys, probably, too, right?
Yeah, number one.
I would think it'd probably go back to Aikman.
Yeah, I think that'd be the last number one. I mean, closest we've got since then, I think, is when we took Zeke at 4.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were kind of...
Yeah, but that was a tough year. That was,
you guys were pretty bad a few years ago.
Yeah. One thing with our teams is we have a real rich history.
Yeah, they're
our teams.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got to run this back to the previous game we were talking about, Green Bay Giants. I heard this on the radio, and I wanted to bring it up in this podcast. I don't think you're as far away from us as you think you are in Green Bay.
See, that's where we disagree.
I don't think you're as far off as us. I think you're getting ready to rebuild, too. You're not in rebuild yet, but I think you're getting ready to rebuild.
When you lose like you did last week, I don't think you can talk. So let's just push it back. You
play Buffalo this year, right?
And guess what?
You play Buffalo this year, right?
Happening.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Buffalo's just dominant, man. The other game, the next game, I shouldn't say the other game. The LA Chargers pull it out 30-28 over the Browns. I did watch a little bit of this because of Eckler finally starting to score me some points. I really appreciate it.
It was pretty close, wasn't it?
It was 30-28. It was a pretty close game all through.
Yeah.
I can't remember because, like I said, I was in a deep depression. But I think that Cleveland was up and they let it slip through.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, 30-28. For some reason, I thought it was.
Cleveland's done a lot of that this year.
Yeah.
AFC North has. The Ravens let a few slip through, too.
Yeah.
It's interesting with the Browns. It's going to be very interesting when Deshaun Watson comes back because how is it going to really affect the team? Is the run game going to be there? It's going to be a good effect, obviously, right? But
it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I got to admit, I got to give Jacoby Brissett a little bit more respect than I was giving him at the beginning of the year. He is playing well.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting what happens when Deshaun Watson comes back. Amari Cooper has had a few games where he's benefited from having Brissett back there throwing it to him.
Yeah.
On to our other game, the AFC South matchup where the Houston Texans took it 13-6 over the Jags. I don't think anybody in this division knows what they want to be.
No. Upset of the week, by the way, I called it. So, we didn't go over our numbers, by the way.
We'll do that when we do the pick'em video.
Oh, pick'ems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Texans pull it out. The Jags, maybe it's just that division where you look strong against strong teams and you look like garbage against garbage teams.
As soon as you start saying, "Oh man, the Jags look decent," then they lose to Houston.
Well, and it's funny because I remember Josh saying, "Oh, they got a big head now. They got a big head now." And then I was watching the ticker and I was like, "Oh, maybe he was right. Maybe they do have a big head now, and they're thinking they're better than Houston, and they're not really that much better."
Division games, man, it's tough.
Division games,
it's tough. You just can't always discount bad teams.
You really can't.
If you think about it, if you go back and look at Houston's games, I think they've been close in every game. They're pretty competitive so far this year.
Yeah.
Lovie Smith.
I was just going to say, Lovie Smith knows how to get his guys going. Remember when he took Rex Grossman to the Super Bowl?
That's that guy, man.
It must be. Speaking about Rex Grossman in the Super Bowl, our next game was Chicago at 22, Minnesota at 29. Vikings pull it out. Not much to say here other than the Vikings still play like the Vikings. Where they should be dominant, they're not. But they still win.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But, I mean...
Again, another divisional game, though.
Divisional game, so...
Those divisional games are tough.
Yeah, well, when you think about it, you build your teams to beat your divisional opponents.
Yeah.
You know, so you're going to see them twice a week. So, those games should be close. They should be close.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next game was kind of a bit of a surprise for me. That the number one offense as the Detroit Lions gets shut out against the Patriots, 29-0.
Completely shut out. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very weird.
I didn't see it, so I don't know what happened. But I know Swift was hurt, right?
Yeah, but he was hurt last week too. Williams played pretty good,
Yeah.
but
Wasn't St. Brown
St. Brown was out.
was hurt?
Yeah, he was hurt.
So my assumption is with these injuries and stuff that Jared Goff panicked and turned back into Jared Goff.
Well, Belichick's
He
got
could
his
have
number.
put Hawkinson again. That would have been fine.
He
Hawkins.
should have gone to Hawkinson.
I think Belichick just has his number. Jared Goff, man. He just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Belichick's I don't like him, but he's a good coach.
Matt Patricia had some inside information. He knew.
Matt Patricia. Oh, yeah, revenge
point.
game for Matt Patricia. Didn't even think about that. The pencil. So, on to the next one. New Orleans squeaks it out 39-32 over Seattle. Andy Dalton played well.
He did.
Yeah, Andy Dalton played well for them. I think one of the bigger things out of this game was the emergence of Kenneth Walker III.
Kenneth
Right?
Walker
Isn't that his
the
name?
third.
Kenneth Walker III?
One other player, too, on the Saints.
Who's that?
Taysom Hill.
Oh, yeah, Hill.
Had a big game.
Dude, fantasy owners must be so mad. Kamara owners, they come all the way down the field and then they give it to Hill and have him run it in. He'd score.
He's a tough one. I mean, it's obviously interesting as a quarterback tight end split.
Right.
It's weird. He's
like a cheat code in fantasy.
He is. If he can get those touchdowns and whatever, I mean, he can throw, catch, and run for a touchdown. So it's interesting.
Yeah, well, not only that, but you can put him in a tight end or as a quarterback.
Right.
He is like a cheat code. So, but yeah, I tried to get Walker. I didn't get him. You got him, right?
I got him.
You
yeah.
got him. Tried to get Hill. I didn't get Hill either. My team needs
Yeah,
help.
I tried for Walker and Hill, and one and two got him. Oh, well.
Who ended up getting? Pete got him. Pete. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Pete.
Oh man.
Oh, Big P.
Big old Pete.
On to the next game. Josh, you were live in action for this game. The Dolphins 17, the Jets 40. 40 points out of the Jets.
All I gotta say is Jets, Jets, baby. They were like,
you were with two Dolphins fans, right?
yeah. So my brother-in-law and my nephew are Dolphins fans. Going into it, I was wearing a Jets Jets jersey, just to play along. But I was rooting for the Dolphins the whole time.
Wearing a Jets jersey, cheering for the Dolphins. So.
Yeah, it was fun. The Jets fans, man, they're fun. They get excited when they're winning. So it's like a Super Bowl experience for them.
You know what? The Jets fans are that different breed. They're that hardcore, like they are into their team.
They're really in, especially where we were. We were really high up, So it's like those loyal fans.
You were the drunks.
Yeah, loyal fans that only spend $50 on a ticket.
Who can only afford $50?
Afford,
Yeah, but I mean the Jets. Zach Wilson looking good.
The running backs are really the key back.
Zach Wilson could throw to Garrett Wilson a little bit more. I wouldn't mind that.
Yep.
Maybe give him a touchdown.
Was that your first time at MetLife?
It was. Yeah, it's a cool stadium. We looked it up, 80 plus thousand, 82,000. It's a neat stadium. It was really cool to experience it. It was a lot of fun. A lot of tailgating.
Nice.
I didn't participate in it, but we got there a little bit later than we wanted to.
Yeah. Tailgating. Sometimes the tailgating before the football game is the best part.
It is. Yeah.
Someone had suggested to me that we should have just gone up to Buffalo and tailgated and looked for tickets in the parking lot.
That's true.
Because a lot of times there's scalpers up there selling.
Or just go watch the game somewhere at a bar.
That would have been fun just to do that. They probably would have had some TVs out there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like you said, go to the bar and watch it up there. But
yeah, it was fun.
It's a fun time up there. On to our next game, we got NFC South. The Falcons. We all said we wanted to go with the Falcons, but we knew we were going to go with the Bucks, and the Bucks ended up pulling it out 21-15. But the Falcons are showing they're better than what I thought they were going to be, and I don't know I forget how you guys had them in the beginning of the year, but I did not expect them to be this competitive throughout games.
Honestly, they should have still had a shot at this game too. That call at the end was terrible.
Dude, these roughing the passer calls are getting way out of hand.
It's tough. It's tough for the NFL right now because they're really pushing hard on that, concussions, things like that. Not like, which is understandable with health. You know, you want to make sure that they're playing the safest, but it is also football too. We have to realize that.
Yeah, you can't penalize the defense for doing their job.
Right.
You know, like I get it. You wanna, bless you.
Excuse me.
You want player safety is the number one concern, but at the same time, some of these guys are getting big bonuses off of their sack numbers, and they can't get a sack because it's roughing the passer.
Yep.
Yeah, Grady Jarrett the other day kind of did everything right, and he still got flagged for it.
Yeah, it's literally getting to like two-hand touch football on quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Brady, how did Brady look? He looked a little better than he'd been playing?
Did,
or?
yeah, he did. As far as fantasy-wise went, I mean, he's now getting more of his weapons back, right? Godwin played.
He's been back the last two games.
Yeah,
he's
last
back.
two games. Obviously, Mike Evans is back from suspension. Julio is going to be back, maybe, potentially.
I just read he's back on the injury report, and they're saying it doesn't look good. He might be out for a couple weeks, but
He's done.
Russell Gage has been playing well.
I'm just saying right now, he's done.
Yeah, Julio's. I mean, Yahoo Fantasy said drop him and don't even look at him again. So, but
Guess what Adam did? Picked him up.
yeah, I picked him up. Well, because the third receiver on whoever plays Pittsburgh has a huge game.
Yeah, Russell Gage.
I got him too. I just haven't put him in yet.
Okay, all right,
So,
you got me there.
The next one, the Titans pull it out over the Commanders 21-17. Derrick Henry had a good game.
He did.
Right? Derrick Henry had
Love
a good
that
game. If they could get him running again,
The colder the weather. for
yeah.
him,
Well,
he
people are
loves.
going to want to tackle him, man.
No.
They're not, especially in cold weather. If they can get him rolling again, they'll be all right. But that whole division is just suspect.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's probably the weakest division out there, but it's.
Yeah.
I mean, they might.
The game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, though.
It did. Yeah.
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
But I think when I was picking this game, this was one of those games where I was like, I can't, I don't know.
Right. You could see the upset
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's just, it is what it is. Titans did what they were supposed to. I think they were supposed to win that game. The next game was the 49ers won 37-15 over the Panthers. Niners look good. Kittle could look better. But the Carolina's just in trouble.
Yeah,
They're just in trouble.
it's not good.
I bet you Pittsburgh will beat Carolina.
Yeah.
Carolina might end up with the number one pick. They're just,
I don't know, but
Carolina's just not looking good.
I don't know,
They at
but
least got their running back. You know what I'm saying? Najee's.
Yeah, but the Steelers have a good run defense. It's their secondary. It would be a DJ Moore game
We'll see.
if he was there, or he might be in
CMC,
Dallas or Green
baby,
Bay.
he does both.
We'll
just
see.
face the facts this year, okay?
Listen, I'm a Evans fan. I said they're not good. I said I think they can beat Carolina because I think Carolina's worse than them. When they had their power rankings, Pittsburgh was put at number 29. So there were 3 teams worse than Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
all right?
I saw it. Carolina was 32nd as far as
Yeah,
what I looked at.
Carolina's just garbage.
Yeah, the 49ers though, their defense is no joke. I mean, they're definitely probably top 2, if not the best. You know, they're a good team, and you said they're the surprise team.
We might have to have a discussion about that top 2 in a little bit.
Yeah, well, they're top 2 and they're not second. So you know what I'm saying. So you know you can pick that yourself.
It's hard to think of a good defense that would challenge the Niners. I don't know if there's a team that could challenge them defensively.
Yeah.
Defensively, after this week, I don't think so. Oh.
On to probably the best team in the NFC, squeaking it out 20-17, Philly over Arizona. Cheesesteaks and football, man. Cheesesteaks and football.
And Rocky.
And Rocky. And Liberty. Cheesesteaks, football, Rocky, and our freedom.
That's right. Independence.
These Eagles, bud.
And it's all going to come crashing down this weekend.
You know, they almost lost this game, too. The last second field goal.
Yeah.
The Cardinals missed it.
There have been a lot of missed kicks this year.
A lot of close games in general.
Yeah.
And I mean, the better team won, but I just don't think.
It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Right, exactly. So I don't know if that's credit to Arizona or if that's just kind of lack of the Eagles coming in thinking that they weren't going to really, have to worry too much. I don't know.
Yeah. It could have been the travel. It could have been travel. They don't.
I think it comes down to just Philly just not being that good.
Yeah, you're right. Only undefeated team's just not that good.
You're right. That's right.
You're right.
Only undefeated team.
That's just what it is.
No, I know what he's saying because a few years ago, the Steelers were 11-0, and everybody kept telling me how they're the worst 11-0 team in history, and I'm like, dude, they're 11-0. Like
they finished what 11-5,
or something like that.
Yeah.
They were 10-0 or something like that. And people were like, oh, they're the worst 10-0 team, and they ended up 11-5 that year.
That's funny.
But you could be right. You're not, but you could be right. Then let's move on to this next game, 22-10, Dallas over LA. Listen, I want to try to give the Cowboys credit, I really do. But the Rams just aren't as good as we thought they were going to be.
They're not.
They're just not as good as we thought they were going to be.
I tell you, every week when the Cowboys just keep doing what they're doing, it's some new excuse. Just admit it, the Cowboys are good. They got a nasty defense.
Is it?
Just give them their credit.
I haven't heard. Do they have a good defense?
They're second, if that. I mean,
they are what? One of two teams who have not let their opponent score over 20 points.
Actually, yeah, them and San Francisco, right?
The number one team.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But I think the Cowboys. I think I saw something about the Cowboys are the only team that have not allowed multiple touchdowns in a game.
You read that right.
It's impressive.
It is impressive.
It is impressive.
It is impressive.
And they
but
do.
Then I try to think of their offenses they've been playing against, and I don't know. I just don't know.
This week is going to be the
week.
What
do you mean, Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp? Come on.
Okay, after that, name anything else.
What has Matt Stafford done this year?
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase.
No, Burrow when he was running for his life.
Yes, true. Good point. Good point.
Daniel Jones, who just beat your Packers.
Listen, you don't have to throw shade at me. This is not about us Packers.
All right, buddy. We'll say your defense is good. All right.
Listen,
we'll
after this week, we'll see what happens.
This is the true test.
But your team looks good.
These words could come back and haunt me, but hopefully not.
What do you What was Rush's Cooper Rush's stat line? How did he do? Do you remember?
He only threw for 102 yards.
What was the running game? Is that where, or was just basically the defense really?
Yeah, they ran. I think between Zeke and Pollard, they had I think 160 total.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I think honestly, obviously, the defense is carrying that team right now. You're not putting up a ton of points as the Cowboys. You won 22-10, more than 3 points, which is all we scored this week.
Yeah,
but
if you,
that's definitely a defensive team, and defense wins championships.
Yeah.
So
if your defense is doing it, then who cares about the offense, really?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if the offense ain't doing nothing, but the defense is doing this, and we're winning, I get excited over that. So I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, AJ Brown has something to say to that. So
this week, it's going to be tough because we haven't played a quarterback like Jalen Hurts yet. Yeah, we played Stafford and Burrow, but we haven't. I mean, Daniel Jones a little bit, but Hurts really gets out of the pocket, so it's going to be hard to contain him. So, like you said, it's going to be a real test this Sunday.
I'm still up in the air about this Sunday's game. I really don't know yet.
You're going to be the deciding factor because we know who's going to pick each side.
I want you guys though. If Dallas passes this test and they hold Philly to under 20, I want to hear you guys finally give the Cowboys credit next week.
If they hold them under, if they win, I'm gonna give them huge credit. If they hold them over under 20, it's gonna be good.
Listen, I'm gonna pick on you no matter what happens. So I'm gonna make sure. I'm probably not gonna give them as much credit as they deserve, just because it's me, and I gotta pull somebody down to misery with me.
I was just saying that.
I gotta pull you down to misery.
Listen,
maybe it'll be Josh, though. Maybe it'll be Josh and not you, because who knows what the Packers are gonna do. But on to the next game. I think Dallas Philly will be a good game this week. I think there are going to be a few good games this week.
Yeah.
On to the next game was Cincy Baltimore. Baltimore squeaked this one out 19-17. I don't really know. Tucker hit a huge kick at the end of the game.
Yeah, he's a star, man.
He's the best kicker in the league.
He always does.
He's the best kicker in the league.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
He is so good.
Yeah, I mean the Ravens are so good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say,
the
but
best kicker of all time, right? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, what's
Tucker?
his name? Vinatieri,
Maybe Vinatieri.
Yeah, Adam Vinatieri, but Tucker's got to be.
Gary Anderson was pretty good back in the day too. He kicked a lot of. He's got a lot of points scored in his career.
I think
Tucker. I would say he's the most dependable. If I had like a 60-yard field goal and you're like, take one kicker to go kick your 60-yard field goal, I'm going Tucker. Vinatieri was good, but I don't think his leg was as strong as Tucker's is.
No, it wasn't.
Which is crazy. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals and Ravens, and our hot topic is Justin Tucker, the kicker. Not Lamar Jackson, not Chase, not Burrow. It's Justin Tucker. Not Mark Andrews, but...
And he's got a good voice, too, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah. Seen it out there. I know some of you fans have, too. I don't know, but he's got a good opera, that real good, deep voice. Oh. So, check it out.
I've never seen it.
Check it out.
Either. We'll have to look it up. Then we ended the week with a pretty good game. Way closer than I thought it was going to be. KC pulling it out 30-29. Raiders going for the 2-point conversion instead of just kicking the extra point to go to overtime.
Let's just say the push was in KC's favor. Do you get it? Any push? Devontae Adams.
Oh, yeah.
With the push. Over the head. Okay.
Yeah, but I saw something today that they were like, now people are trying to defend Devontae Adams because the cameraman just stepped out in front of him. Like he didn't see him coming.
Okay, so I mean, I love Devontae. He was a Pack for a long time, but I never seen him in any sort of way get into like that type of.
He's frustrated.
He's frustrated.
He's so frustrated.
He's never been on a team that's been so bad. But they're a good team. They just
so much potential, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, he also went from a team where he was their offense to now he's their second option.
To
Josh Jacobs, my man.
Oh yeah.
Jacobs. See, they're getting back to the run game, which I think if you traded somebody like Dobbs from Green Bay and you got Josh Jacobs in the trade, I think that looks like a really good trade now.
I don't know, because Stevenson looks pretty good too. I'm just saying, he had 160 yards.
The facts are, if I would have had Dobbs playing, he would have crushed me.
And that's what I wanted. But you know what? I lost by, 2? And that was my karma. That was
Four, I think.
It was probably closer.
4.
It was probably closer.
4.
But that was my karma, man. I talked crap, and...
yeah, you hated on the trade.
Hey, let's not forget also, Josh Jacobs did what he had to do, but just Josh Jacobs wasn't going to win me the game. I had to get 6 points from Renfro, too.
No, that's right. 6 from Renfro.
6 points from Renfro.
Which, if he would just get out of Devontae Adams' way, they might be all right.
Dude, bad. Yeah, Devontae's, it's going to be interesting talking about him. Potential suspension, so that could hurt their team.
3.5 points.
3.5 points.
He beat you by 3.5 points.
I told you, 3.5 points. You pushed to 4. I went under. I don't know.
But yeah, Are they talking suspension for Devontae Adams on that?
They are. They have a bye week this week, and then probably going to be suspended. Listen, you can't. No matter how angry you are, I get it. He might have been in his way. You don't put. I mean, he literally
shoved him.
He shoved the guy to the
threw
ground.
the guy out.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. But the guy's pressing charges. So
yeah, I saw that criminal charges. He wanted criminal charges against Devontae Adams, which is. I'm sorry, but if you're going to roam those sidelines, you know there's a chance that you're going to run into. You got to be aware of your surroundings.
It's the money,
Yeah, you got to be aware of your surroundings too. You got to take nobody wants to take accountability anymore.
He'll give him a little bit of money and they'll all go away.
Yeah,
he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. He'll be back to Green Bay.
He might actually get suspended a game or two, but we'll see.
He will be. Yeah, they definitely.
I think they have to because they got blown up after he did it. It was all over the place.
He did, yeah.
So, but anything else from week 5 that you guys want to bring up? I mean, Mike, we know how you feel about that Dallas D. You're loving it. I'm pretty disappointed. I'm pretty down in the dumps. My Steelers, not great. The Mets lost on the same day, and I lost in fantasy for now 0-5. So, but
somebody's got to be last place.
I did have two victories this weekend. My Rangers won their opening game against Tampa Bay Lightning, so that's good.
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers. I'm going to have to start watching hockey because I have nothing else. And I won Pick'ems.
There you go.
I won Pick'ems. So we'll get into that with our next one here, but hopefully this week will be better for us. We'll see. I don't even know what the schedule looks like, but I don't think it's going to be better for Pittsburgh. We got Tampa. So it's going to be rough the next couple days, but we'll see. So if we got nothing else,
yeah.
So then until next video, we got two guys.
One Mike.
Let's go.